Sweet Jesus. Fucking traffic. Been stuck here for about maybe 10-15 minutes now. It's still nearly 5 hours to go. 4 hours and 52 minutes. No idea where I am. On the road to Kyiv. I'm still feeling like shit. I'm never drinking cherry liqueur ever again. Bye-bye. 1,500 kilometers. I'm still going. We're still on the road to Kyiv. Apparently an hour and 20 minutes to go. My arse is gone. And my windscreen is coming shite because there was barely any fluid in the car. So wash your windscreen, wash your fluid. Fine, I'll find a garage, I'll fill it up. Except bonnet latch is broken. So yeah, can't open the bonnet to fill it up. So that's probably why they didn't bother filling it up, because they couldn't open the bonnet. So yeah, and also the wheel bearing's gone on the right hand side. It's making an almighty racket. 1,503 kilometers in a Kia Picanto in a week. See you in Kiev. Next video will be in Kiev. Bye now. Wow, Kyiv, bloody hell, I haven't even got to my hotel yet. You look pretty bloody amazing. Oh my word. This city is stunning. This city is stunning. Okay, we'll be back. But Kiev, and I haven't even got to my hotel yet, I'm still driving, is bloody marvelous. Welcome to Kyiv. Can you see me? Can you see me? It's very dark here because, well, it's Kyiv. It's Putin's favorite city to bomb. So, obviously, as many lights as possible around the city are off. Just to make it a bit more difficult for his old drones. So I'm probably going to have to stop recording now in a second because there's actually an army checkpoint to get to my street. To my hotel. So I had to go through an army checkpoint and show my documents and stuff like that just to get into the hotel. So okay, so I'm going to turn this off and we'll see you later. Bye bye. So if you can see over there, that's this entrance to the street to my hotel. It's a bit mad. When I came in during the day, when I was driving in, I mean, it looked absolutely stunning. But it was quite late, so by the time I parked, I had to watch the end of a football game. So now it was dark by the time I got out. And yeah, it's I mean, there's street lights, but like all the building lights are out, and it just looks weird. Oh yeah, and another thing, that asshole. Oh, we're going into a zone that says no cameras. So, if you can see that. So, I'm going to turn off the camera for a bit. Bye bye. I'm a little bit kind of is that whelmed word again? That sensation of whelmed again. So, I don't really know where I'm going at the present moment. I'm going to look for something to eat, surprise, surprise. But I'm just wondering, don't really care, soaking in the atmosphere. Very busy. But when I saw this earlier, I mean, the streets were just jammed. I forgot today's Saturday. So, the people are out just chilling and walking and It's a gorgeous city. And here we are again, Saturday night. And I just have to keep reminding myself, 30th of September. Can't believe tomorrow's October. And yeah, people are just out chilling. It's the same as every other city I've been to in Ukraine, just getting on with life. Air raid siren goes, then, you know, you do what you need to do. It's not going to stop people from living. People need to live. I'm going to go that direction. It looks a bit livelier. Oh yeah, what I was going to say, another thing, that arse Putin. Okay, there's music here. I'll stop for a second. Okay, if you can see me, attempt number 3. Another thing, that Putin arsewipe is that Chernobyl tours are all cancelled. Something I have wanted to do for years. And here I am, in Ukraine, in Kiev, the opportunity to go finally do the Chernobyl tour. And we can't because it's all shut down because of the war. Putin, I'm telling you, man, you little short-ass prick. They ever get me fucking hands on you? You gobshite. Good morning from Kyiv, in Ukraine. It is Sunday, the 1st of October 2023. And look at me, I'm wearing a jacket. Still wearing my shorts. But I'm wearing a jacket because it's cold. Having said that, it's only gone 9 o'clock in the morning. So it will be getting up to its normal, customary late 20s later. So, where am I going now? There's a few places I'm going to go to today. My first port of call, I think, is called St. Michael's Square. I believe there's a demonstration or an exhibition of captured Russian military vehicles, tanks and stuff like that. Then I'm going to Independence Square, which is a very, very key important location of Kyiv, is where the start of the protests, the Euromaidan, which led to massive changes in the constitution, the whole governance of Ukraine, where the protests against the current government at the time, headed by Viktor Yanukovych. I got it right before. Yanukovych. I'll put it up there. You know what I'm talking about. Sorry, she's vibrating at me. I don't know where I'm going. I'll keep going straight. It's all a lot of fun anyway. So that began the protests. So if you can remember, this is in November 2013 these started. And do you know what? I'm not even going to talk about it now. I'm going to start talking about it when I'm there. Just wanted to say good morning. Good morning from Kiev, in Ukraine. Rocking and rolling. Slava Ukraini. I think I've come at the wrong time. Because it is a church, there is a church there. You can see the vehicles there. Okay. There are soldiers. People got their hats off. Okay, I'm going to stop filming now because it's a bit disrespectful. I'm not really too sure what's going on, but it's a solemn moment. I think some, okay. Okay, this is a very solemn moment. I see there are people recording, so I'm filming this now. But it's clearly a moment of remembrance of fallen comrades, fallen soldiers. There's families there. I've actually just got goosebumps. This is the reality. Because it's not just the soldiers, it's the families and friends, it's the entire population. I know I'm sounding really wanky here. I don't really care. People are crying behind me. Oh my god, this is I seriously have goosebumps, and I'm not kidding. I'm not really one for emotion or, solemn moments. This is incredibly moving. Because this is a war that is still going on. It is still going on. Right in this second, people are dying. It's like clearly families of the fallen.
They're here paying their respects, bringing flowers, the army themselves. All those people over there have lost someone. So I'm assuming these are dignitaries, politicians or government officials. They're not holding back anyway. Slava Ukraine. Okay, we'll come back there later. Obviously, that wasn't what I was expecting to find when I got there. Incredibly moving, incredibly emotional, and again, I'm well aware I'm sounding like some really lefty woke wanker, but I defy anybody. I defy anybody to be able to stand there and not feel that emotion, to not feel moved by what they just saw there. Just senseless, just madness. So we'll move on to the next stop, to Independence Square, and we can come back there later on. Okay, see you in a bit. Okay, so this is Independence Square, or in the native language, anyone not from Ukraine who slags off the pronunciation of this, you can go do one. Maidan Nezalezhnosti. Nezalezhnosti. I know I've got that wrong. Nezalezhnosti. Maidan. So Maidan is square, and Nezalezhnosti, I'm sorry, is independence. So this is Independence Square. This is effectively the origin of the soft revolution, the revolution, how Ukraine became or started on the path to where it is now. Back in the late 2013, around November 2013, as you may have heard me mention before, Viktor Yanukovych, who was the president at the time, basically Parliament approved an agreement, an EU-Ukraine agreement, which basically forged stronger ties between Ukraine and EU, because the vast percentage of the population wanted closer ties to the EU and were beginning to reject the Russian influence. Viktor Yanukovych was very pro-Russian. So what started off as demonstrations from students and civil workers basically started here, but it grew. If you may have remembered the video footage back in the day, this effectively became its own little town, its own little city. There were shops here, there were bars, there were stages for people to do demonstrations or to give speeches, their own medical centres, and they had their own kind of guards with kind of makeshift kind of clothing and helmets, and trying to protect the place with sticks. So as that grew and grew and grew, it culminated in a crackdown, I think around February 2014, where government forces with the police, pushed by Yanukovych. You've got to remember as well that Yanukovych was supported by Russia, and Putin's regime and the Kremlin regime kept trying to push them to reject the agreement. So nearly 100 demonstrators were actually killed here. But the response to that was so immense that basically protests grew so exponentially that Viktor Yanukovych and effectively the entire parliament had to jump ship. They signed an agreement for an interim government, and that forged a path for the soft revolution, what is being called as Euromaidan. But unfortunately then that led to the Russia-Ukraine or Ukraine-Russian war, where Russia got so pissed off, that's when they invaded Crimea and annexed Crimea, and were supporting then the Russian insurgents in Luhansk and Donetsk to rise up against the government. So while we think that this war only started last year, it's actually been going on since 2014, and it continues to this day. So this is, again, as I said, Independence Square, Maidan, you know what I'm going to say, and this is where the pathway to modern Ukraine began, and why Putin is still such a bitch.
Putin спротестував про результати голосування у Словаччині.
I'm heading out to Bucha later. So if you can remember, Bucha was probably one of the darkest periods of Ukraine's history. But the Russians kind of occupied for over a month, and over 1,300 people were killed, slaughtered. People were, had their arms, wrists, cable tied behind their necks. It was just a slaughter. It was executions, rape, and torture. We'll come back to that later. What an amazing city. Such an amazing city. And even there we have dances. We have people dancing, not doing demonstrations, or just practicing or training or whatever it is. And why shouldn't they? It's their city, it's their country. They're here to still enjoy it, be proud. I'm sounding like be proud and whatever. Yeah, I'm honestly not meaning to, but I'm kind of just taken up by the emotion. So I got myself a band. I already have a ribbon on my bag, so now I've just got a band as well. So loads of people getting them. I got no idea how much it costs, but anything that goes towards Ukrainian economy or to the war effort or whatever, take the opportunity, slip a few quid. So, Slava Ukraini. Okay, so we're back here again at St. Michael's Square. I'm not even going to think about trying to pronounce it in Ukrainian. So, the ceremony that was here earlier is now finished. Yeah, to sound like a wet lefty liberal, that was probably one of the most emotional experiences I've ever experienced. But anyway, this is only a small selection of the vehicles. Yeah, probably. I mean, let's make no bones about it. I mean, soldiers died in these. I suppose it's safe to say that Russian soldiers were killed in these, or at least some of them. They weren't all just lying on the side of the road. So, I mean, the death of anyone is tragic, but I guess I have mixed emotions on this one, that they are fighting for Putin, but let's remember, a lot of Russian soldiers are there because they come from the rural areas of Russia. They have no other prospects, and they're all being fed a crock of shite. Okay, there's some pictures on the walls there which are quite harrowing, and I just know from experience that okay, so I'm going to show you two pictures. It's probably going to be about 5-10 seconds, so you might want to kind of forward about 10 seconds, because I know that it'll get flagged by YouTube and people will complain about it. So this is your warning to fast forward 10 seconds. Okay, starting from now. So, charred bodies of civilians killed by the Russian occupiers who tried to burn them down, hide the traces of their crimes. This is in Bucha, and which is where I'm going. So, that was rough, and some more here. Bucha is where I'm going, so it's just this by coincidence here that I'm seeing these pictures. So. Another 10-second warning. So if you want to fast forward now. Okay, just let you know, I mean, these are pictures out here in the open. So, I don't really want YouTube kind of saying that I'm putting up content. I mean, it's there for kids and everyone to see, because this is the reality. This is the reality. There's no hiding from the reality. So, all these Russian soldiers are dying for no reason at all, because their leader is a wanker. Simply that, tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of soldiers have been killed so far in this conflict on both sides, purely because Putin is a prick. Russian soldiers would have died in these vehicles, the majority of them. If you join because you're from a rural area, you've got no other prospects, no money, you've been fed a line that you're going to be looked after by your government, and that it's a noble cause fed by the propaganda machine, then I can only sympathize with your families who've had to endure the pain of your loss, again, because your president is an asshole. Okay. See you later. On the 29th and 30th of September 1941, in the middle of the Second World War, Ukraine was occupied by the Nazis. But here in Babyn Yar, 34,000 Jews were executed just in the space of those 2 days in these ravines. In total, there was up to 150,000 people executed in Kyiv. Predominantly Jews, but also Ukrainians, Romani, Soviets, communists. In fact, any culture, or denomination, or ethnicity that wasn't seen as compliant with the Nazi ideology. So Ukraine has had a hell of a history right up until now of occupation and conflict, destruction and death. For what reason? I don't know. Will we ever understand the mind of dictators, lunatics? From Hitler occupation through to Soviet Stalin occupation to now Putin's attempt at occupation. And here in Babyn Yar is only another small reminder. It's hard to believe what actually happened back then, 82 years ago yesterday. Just slaughtered men, women, children, didn't matter. You were Jewish? Here you go.